Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Hope all is well with everybody. So we are here, and we are live. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Tamieka Smith, and I empower dreamers to become doers of the world while unapologetically allowing their light to shine in a dark world. Y'all, I don't even have my earrings on, but God be the glory anyway. We're going to get through this on today. So I have written a few books, y'all, 3 to be exact. So far, there's a lot more books in me. But in this place, in this time and season of my life, I am going to, as Wordsmith Enterprises, we are going to help some other people get their book babies out. I have done that so far. Some mention names, some unmentionable names. And so, but God be the glory anyway. My first official client is my best friend, Victoria Hooks, and she has written a few books. I say a few because be on the lookout for book number 3 for her. So I'm so excited for what God is doing in her life and for her daughter's life. And I do have I just have so much going on, guys. And I'm just so excited and just really humble and thankful for what is going on. I'm just looking for my notes, guys. But while I do that, I want you guys to tell me where you're from and what it is that you do in the comments. I like to speak to people. I like to engage. Make sure you do swipe and invite. Hopefully you can still see me and hear me as I navigate through different tabs. Because that wasn't quite ready. I wanted to make sure I was as close to being on time, because I know that's one of the things, since we're talking about soft skills today, that we're going to be talking about. Can you see me? Can you see me? All right. We're going to get it together. We are going to get it together. Anyway, nevertheless, we are here and we need to talk about effective communication. I'm going to wing it since I can't get my notes up, but we're going to talk about effective communication on today. And so with that being said, effective communication, what does that look like? Let me put this post up that I saw the other day, right? And it says, people are so used to others being indirect and phony. Hey, good morning. So people are so used to others being indirect and phony that clear communication appears aggressive. Can I repeat that for y'all? People are so used to others being indirect and phony that clear communication appears to be aggressive. So that's crazy to me, that we are in a time and space where, as adults that claim to, be grown in all of this, that we can't even effectively use our words. We can't effectively have communication. And I just want to ask you guys, where does it come from where us using our words is aggressive, where using our words is a problem? And being direct with people in their face is now like somebody clutching their pearls, and it's aggressive when you're being honest. I just find it real interesting. Because we all need to have somebody to hold us accountable. And I know you guys see it all the time on social media, especially when people say, oh, I'm keeping it real, I'm doing that. There's boundaries and levels to it as well, because sometimes you can overshare and tell too much when you really need to go see a therapist. And it's okay. And I'm all for going to therapy. I have one myself, so there's no shame in that. But there's also a time where you also need friends to tell you, hey, good morning. And there's also a time and place where you need to tell your friends, listen, Slow it down, pumpkin. Slow it down. And somebody need to tell you the same thing. If you don't have friends that's telling you the honest truth and they just co-signing with you on everything, you need to watch that. That's not a real friend. A real friend is going to tell you what it is in your face and not talk behind your back. But that's another story for a whole nother day. But I think that, I don't know if it's society or people just feel like they can get their chest pumped up, or just the whole society in the number 45 era where we feel like we can just throw subliminals at people. And this is not out of anger. This is out of concern, really, because some of y'all be like, oh, she mean. Look, I'm just doing what I need to do, whatever specific topic that's ran across my mind through prayer, whatever. But it is a topic that needs to be discussed. So this is not coming from nobody. If I have a problem with somebody, I'm going to talk to you directly. That's just how I am. But we need to come to a place where we are direct with people. A lot of relationships can be healed by us just simply have a conversation and not being indirect, where, just like I was saying before about this number 45 era, and I'm not concerned about what political affiliation that you're in. I'm not here for that. All I'm saying is, when you are a leader, and this, I'm going a little bit ahead of myself, right? I have to gather my thoughts together first as well. But as a leader, how you lead is how people will follow. That's for free. How you lead is how others will follow. Whether it's in a business organization, whether it's in a church organization, institution, whatever you want to call it, religious institution, how you will lead, even in your family. Who's the leader in your house? I'm, officially a single mom, even though I'm in a relationship. I'm a single mom. What does that mean? I'm not married. My last name hasn't changed yet. That's what that means. So, as that being said, I'm the leader of my house. I'm the leader. Stay out of your life today, girl. Yes. Listen. As a leader of my household, how I lead, my children will follow. As a supervisor, how are you leading your supervisors at work? How are they following? If you have an MLM, let's go there too. If you have an MLM, how are you leading the people? Because I'm going to tell you what, this is by experience. I'm not talking about anybody. If I have a problem with you and I have my number, your number, I will call you. And the same goes for me. If you have a problem with me, don't be throwing no subliminal messages. We grown. I'm 38. You see all this gray hair in my head, y'all? To God be the glory. I have hair, but I'm just saying it to say, listen, I'm good and grown. And I'm not mad at nobody. Listen, we need to have a conversation. Please share, swipe, and invite. Yeah, I ain't even had my coffee yet. My coffee's sitting right here. South Beach, this coffee cup today is brought to you by South Beach because I want to be in South Beach right now. Somebody got some buddy passes, call me. But anyway, let's have some conversations, like some serious conversations. Why are we not leading correctly? Why are we not having the effective communication skills to talk to people? We're talking at people. We don't have empathy. We don't have compassion. We just talking to be talking. We just talking to react. And we're not listening with empathy. We're not listening with compassion. We're not listening at all. And it brings me to another topic that we're going to talk about today, is something else called boundaries. Do you have them? Do you know what that looks like? What is that defined with you? How does that look like with you? But I'm going to stay on this communication thing for a little while because it's necessary. When we have effective communication skills, it will show. It will show in our lives. It will show in the workplace. It will show in our businesses. Some of y'all so ready to chase a bag that y'all got some nasty attitudes, some horrible attitudes. If I want to ask a question, especially if I invested in the business, don't give me attitude. I'm not one of your children. Some of y'all have some horrible attitudes. And we have to come to a place that we're not so high and mighty that we can't have simple conversations. We can't be so high and mighty and so offended, because a lot of us are walking in offense, that we can't accept constructive criticism at all. Nobody can tell you anything. There's no room for improvement. Those are little telltale signs, of narcissism. If you're never wrong, nobody can never tell you anything. Nothing's never wrong with you. Those are signs of narcissism. And maybe you could be dealing with a narcissist and you don't even know what that looks like. I'm an expert in that. I've dealt with several kinds of narcissists in my life, from a romantic side, from a workplace side, from a church side. I have dealt with that. So I can see things, and it just is what it is. But however, we have to be in a place where we have to look at our own selves. Before I tell y'all anything or claim to be preaching, I'm very introspective. When you don't have boundaries, when you don't have effective communication with people, you settle for less. How many of y'all have settled for less? Can we get some hands? How many of y'all settled for less? It could look like a relationship with a Bob the Builder type of man, or for the men, y'all building up these women that ain't trying to do nothing for themselves, and you basically raising a child, and it's not a relationship. Not having boundaries and effective communication can look like your business is not working well because your price is too low, because you don't value yourself and have the confidence that's necessary to say a price with your chest. Like, what's his name? Kevin Hart says, say it with your chest. When you pitch a product, my price is this, that, and the third. Will you go down? My price is this, that, and the third. We might be able to negotiate, but I'm not going $20 to talk to you for 3 hours. We're not doing that. From my education, from my experience, you're getting the cliff notes. So you need to honor people and what they have done. Amen. Amen. But what does not having boundaries look like for you? What does boundaries look like for you? Not having, the lack of having boundaries, when you cannot say no to people, and you say yes to everybody else, and you're not saying yes to yourself. As a giver, as a nurturer, as a person that has that heart, I've had to tell myself, hey, I need to have boundaries. Hey, I need to just slow down in this moment. I need rest. You saying yes to yourself, to other people so much. And there's nothing wrong with saying yes, but you have to have boundaries. You're saying yes, and you're empty. You're empty and you're depleted. I know I'm in somebody's house, in somebody's business on today. Y'all don't have to talk to me. That's all right. I'm going to still get this message out. But when you're saying yes so much and you're tired, you can't think straight, you're not getting sleep, that is not good for nobody that you're serving, and definitely not for yourself. Well, you say yes so much you don't even know how to say no, or you say no and you say no with an explanation. Let me tell y'all something. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. No. Because you know what's going to happen? For somebody that don't know their boundaries or trying to test your boundaries, when you say no, they'll come back, they'll run it back. They may ask you in a different way. They might ask you a couple hours later just to see if your no is your no. You got to let your no be no and your yes be yes. Say it with your chest, and say it completely with your chest. If they don't like it, that's a personal problem, but it's not your problem to have. Don't be feeling bad for saying no. And also, do not feel bad for saying yes. Something my mom used to always tell me when I was faced with a decision, even as a child. Write down your pros and cons. We make stuff so complicated. Write down your pros and cons. If you have more cons than your pros, then you need to make some decisions. So us grown folks on today, whatever you're dealing with, let your yes be yes and your no be no. If it's not serving you right, you need to make an exit strategy. I had to make an exit strategy when it came to that highly abusive relationship that I was in, because I was about to die, real talk. And also, I'm having to make an exit strategy out of this 9 to 5 because it is a toxic work environment. So I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself too. Don't feel bad about the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Do not let these thoughts rent space in your mind. When you have effective communication, it will show in every aspect of your life. How can you say you want a husband? How can you say you want to be in a marriage and you can't even talk to the person you with? I don't understand it. People want to be married. They want to be married to the event, but they don't want to be married to be married. That don't look right. It don't sit right with me. You want to have all these lists, and I ain't mean to go here on the day, but I'm gonna go there anyway. People want to have all these lists of standards that they need, but then when somebody like a Russell Wilson comes along, he's a simp. That's weird. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, effective communication. That builds a foundation for many things. It builds a great foundation for good friendships. You want to be a good friend, like it says in the Bible. You want a good friend, be a good friend. Be that. Not just on social media, not just at brunch and mimosas, not just there. Be a friend in real life. Simple. Why are we complicating stuff? For the lack of communication, for the lack of using our words. It doesn't make sense. And this is real introspective, and a lot of questions I might ask might be rhetorical, but we need to work at some stuff. And this will be available on the Meaningful Messages podcast, and it will also be available on my blog, Glow Up Girl, because the server wasn't working right, so I couldn't transcribe it out, but it'll be transcribed later on today. And my website, shameless plug, my website for my business, Wordsmith Enterprises .business, will be up and running, ladies and gentlemen, on today, this afternoon. Give me about 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. When you are an entrepreneur and you don't have it in your budget to have somebody do your website, I'm pretty good at websites. Don't recommend that for everybody. But when you're doing your own website, your own glam squad, you got your lights and making sure your lights set up, you're on your production team. Look, this is business, and it's not for the faint at heart, but it is worth it at the end of the day. So, effective communication, guys. That's what I want you guys to think about. Let's not get so stuck in, oh, somebody hurt my feelings. If it hurt, that might, anytime you're hurting, that's always a good starting point for some transformation to take place. As a person that has dealt with some crazy relationships, toxic business partnerships, toxic friendships or potential friendships, and toxic just communication skills with people, I had to look at myself like, why am I attracting people like this? Because predators prey on things like that because you don't have effective communication. Predators prey on those who don't have effective communication, number one, and also those who don't have boundaries. You're always saying yes. Every opportunity that's presented to you is not for you. Every God idea is not, every good idea, every good idea is not a God idea either. So what are we doing and what are we saying? Think about that. What are we doing and what are we saying? Are we infecting people? I'm big on words. Wordsmith, that's the whole company name. Write books, consult with people. Words mean everything. Words make the world go round. And I'm making a difference in the world one word at a time. That's my tagline. Y'all like that? Yes. So listen, your words can either infect people. Y'all want to talk about COVID? Y'all words. You're committing murder with your words. How are you helping people or are you hurting people at the end of the day? How is your communication skills? What toxic traits do you have? Think about that and be better. There's always room to improve. I'm always a student. At times I'm a teacher. I'm always a student and sometimes I'm a teacher. I've never arrived. Even when I get there, do you get what I'm saying, y'all? Is this helping anybody? Are we just looking and lurking on the day? Thanks for watching. But I'm just saying, y'all, our effective communication skills, people need hope. Just in this year alone, think about it, from February 2020 up until this point. We almost in March, y'all. People's lives have changed drastically, whether it's for the good, whether it got worse, but sometimes it got to get worse before it get better. Think about it. Have some reflective time on this weekend, whether it's 15 minutes, an hour, whatever. People need hope. People need listening ears. I'm doing like my 9 to 5 for now. Just listening to people. I'm working inside sales. People dealing with stuff and you feeling like a therapist when you're trying to make a sales call and you got to navigate through all of that to close a deal. And then you have supervisors telling you you're too nice to be in sales, but you're doing all right in sales, but they're telling you you're too nice. But I say all that to say people need a listening ear. They need people that is compassionate, that are compassionate. They need people. You need people. I can't understand people that be like, oh, I don't need nobody. God put me in this world. God has created community too, boo. We all need people. You didn't get here by yourself. Your mama pushed you out. I don't get it. I don't get it. But y'all get it. We grown. And we have to use our words and not be afraid to use our words. This is not deep and wonderful. This is simple communication 101. Because you know what? When you have effective communication skills, it will help you in your business. It will help you in your love life, your love languages, your relationships with your family. When you deal with a thing, you deal with a thing and don't talk around it, talk to it. And then y'all end up being on stuff like Larry Live or Iyanla Fix My Life. God can fix your life if you just talk. And sometimes things happen. Yes, I get it. But we have to really observe and know what we dealing with and who we dealing with, because some people are just toxic and we want to be Build-A-Bells for other people, whether it's in friendships, whether it's in relationships, whatever the case may be. Tamieka Smith is nobody's Build-A-Bell. I might have been in the past, but I'm not right now on today on February 26th of 2021. I'm nobody's Build-A-Bell. I'm a certified life coach, and if you need some accountability, I can help you in that arena. Don't get me wrong. I can help you in your business as far as books and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I'm nobody's Build-A-Bear. And you shouldn't be either. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Having effective communication skills will help you have better interpersonal communication. I know sometimes in the 9 to 5 in the working world, especially in as a minority and as a woman as well, you know, something you have to be professional is what I'm saying. You have to be professional, but you can also be direct without being passive aggressive as well. We need to communicate effectively in all arenas, especially on social media. Some people are on social media just for that little hope. Maybe you're not that person to give it to. Maybe you just that person that's a comedian or whatever the case may be. Because we all have different structures. We all have different assignments. We don't all have to look and sound the same either. When you know who you genuinely are and what your purpose to do, you won't have communication issues. And if you do, there's always room to improve that as well. So when you have boundaries and you know how to present them well in your business, in your relationships, in your friendships, it will show. So that's all I wanted to say to you all on today. You can follow my podcast, Meaningful Messages. You can definitely find that. It is everywhere that podcasts are distributed. It is on Apple iTunes. It's on Spotify. It's on Google Play, Radio Public, and more. So I'm going to chop it up, edit it, put it out there for the world to listen to. If you have any feedback, if you don't want to put your comments on social media because we know people looking and lurking and you got something personal that you want to talk about, I'm approachable, but just don't be weird up in the DMs. Just don't be weird up in the DMs. Please don't. Please don't. So that's all that I have on today. You can email me at hello@tamiekasmith.com. If you just inquiring about my packages as far as self-publishing, consulting for your marketing strategies, whatever the case may be, or even a topic that you want me to discuss, because I'm going to have more time on my hands to discuss some things. And we're just going to get there. We're just going to go there. So got some announcements to make, but I'll make them later on throughout the weekend. So you all have an amazing Friday. Listen, I've been on here for 28 minutes. I value your time. I value your time, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Have an amazing day. It's Freedom Friday, y'all. It's a monumental day for me. Stay tuned. Have an amazing Friday, guys, and I will talk to y'all soon. Think about your words. Think about your boundaries. Have an amazing weekend.